Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today, we're discussing an evolution of a model originally launched back in 2010. This is the Parmigiani Fleurier Tonda Hemispheres. It is a true dual-time watch that can be set to the minute to match any idiosyncratic time zone, whereas most world time watches use preset detents to jump between 24, 35, 37 or more time zones. Others give you only 24 time zones. Well, this gives you the ability to set a second time zone to the minute. Note the degree of control I have here. All right, let's talk about the dimensions. 42 millimeters in diameter in rose gold. The watch is 11.2 millimeters thick. It's 48.7 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a broad 25 millimeter spacing between the lugs. Now, on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, it is a large watch, but it's not oversized. And critically, being fairly thin, it can fit underneath the cuff, which I believe a dress watch always should. I could recommend this for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. The watch has a Hermes strap because Hermes is one of the stakeholders in the Parmigiani family of companies, so we get a lovely Hermes brown calfskin on the bottom, a brand new strap, no crimping, no gouging. You can see a dark brown alligator leather on the top. It's a matte finish. It has a sheer cut edge and a monotone stitch. Many Parmigiani cases, Tonda cases, use this little recess in the case flank that allows the lugs to be drilled relatively close inboard. That narrows the pivot centers between the spring bars, which makes for great fit. But sometimes when lugs are drilled too close to the case, there's an impediment to the motion of the strap. Because of the way this case is made, there's none of that. You can pull the strap straight down out of the lugs. Taking a quick look at the clasp, you can see this clasp is a double fold deployant clasp with polish and satin. You can see the use of ceramic spring-loaded pin snaps to maintain the tight tolerances, as over time the gold simply can't wear the ceramic down. Externally, this is Parmigiani branded, and you can see that the profile of the buckle matches the teardrop profile of the lugs. It is a twin trigger release clasp, so you have to press both triggers to release it. It cannot pop open accidentally. It gives you great security for this heavy and expensive watch. Now, taking a quick look at the case, you can see the Tonda case relies on a canister for the dial and the movement, and then distinctly separate teardrop profile lugs. Now, what I've always loved about these lugs is that there's a little bit of a concaved dish to them. It's not like a straight line. There's a little bit of an inward curvature, and so they flip inward and outward. That little bit of a dished concave gives them great beauty. Everything's of high polish here. You can see that the bezel is minimal, and it has a short vertical section and then a shallow conical section. We have two crowns, both Parmigiani branded and rather sharply knurled, making for easy handling. The dial is a sort of brown bronze with two different finishes. We have a matte metallic finish at the center, and then we have brown bronzed Côte de Genève outboard. You can see that the center dial is stepped down. We have a concentric pattern for each of the registers of time, and then we have a triple date designed as such so it's easier to read the date. And we will turn the lights off to give you the full benefit of this watch's luminescence. The primary time zone is loomed, the secondary time zone is not. Let's take a quick look at how this works. We have that secondary time zone that I can set independently. Both are in 24-hour formats, but you'll appreciate that or I should say 12-hour formats, but each one has a 24-hour sub-register. So as with the Longo und Zona, Longo 1 time zone here, we have a day-night indicator for both the local and remote time. Patek Philippe also does that on its travel time watches. Taking a quick look, you can see there is a sub-seconds register down at 6 o'clock that counterbalances the second time zone. When you pull the crown out entirely, you do hack or stop the movement, and we do have a traditional quick set for the date. A lot of dual-time watches don't have a traditional quick set. This one does, which is nice to see. We have rose gold hands. Parmigiani calls these Delta-style hands, and faceted rose gold polished hour indices. It is an upscale look. Note that the indices for the second dial are polished, as are the hands. They are not rose gold, they are white gold. Flipping everything over, you can see the Parmigiani caliber PF337. It is Vaucher-based. Parmigiani is a family of companies sponsored by the Sandoz Family Foundation, principally sponsored by them. So Parmigiani companies have the ability to make parts of movements, whole movements with Vaucher manufacture, cases, dials, hands, small components, and then via the Hermes investment, also the straps as well. So this is an entirely manufactured product, even if the companies within the Parmigiani group do act as independent business entities. Now we have a rotor that's beautifully engraved and triple finished, pivoting on ceramic bearings. We have two mainspring barrels. The automatic winding power reserve is 50 hours, and thanks to the two barrels, we have a more even torque release. So unlike something with a single barrel, we don't get a big balanced amplitude drop-off after 24 or 36 hours. Now, the balance does beat at 28,800 vibrations per hour. All of this pivots on 38 joules. It has the unique dual-time capability, and it is adjusted chronometer style in 5 positions. On high-end watches like chronometers or non-chronometer haute horlogerie like Vacheron Constantin, 5 positions is the standard. It's what you expect. And although this may be a sporty dress watch, it's not a sports watch, so it's 30 meters water resistant. This is a spectacular and uncommon and ultra-precise, down-to-the-minute travel time option. While that is not quite unique in the watch world, it is exceedingly rare. And this was one of the first model families to offer that functionality. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.